Did you know that your actions in January can determine your luck and prosperity for the entire year? Yes, the first month of the year is like a seed. What you plant during these days will grow over the next 12 months. Today, I will reveal the 7 things you must never do in January if you want to attract good fortune and avoid bad luck. Stay until the end because the last one could surprise you and change your perspective forever. And don't forget, if you're ready to change your energy and attract prosperity, subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you commit to taking action and activating the positive vibrations you deserve. To strengthen your commitment, leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to attract prosperity." Now let's get started. Don't ignore the cleaning of your home. Did you know that a cluttered home is like a reflection of our mind? What you see around you reflects what you carry inside. According to Buddhist teachings, cleaning is not just physical, but also spiritual. Every corner full of dust, every unnecessary object left forgotten in a drawer is like a barrier that stops the flow of positive energy in your life. Let me tell you a story that has been passed down from generation to generation among the monks of an ancient Buddhist monastery. Once upon a time, a young disciple arrived at a monastery in search of inner peace. He was restless. His mind was filled with worries, and he couldn't concentrate during meditation. One night he decided to visit the master and confessed, "Master, I have tried to meditate, but my mind keeps wandering. I feel trapped in my thoughts." The master looked at him serenely, and instead of offering comforting words, handed him a broom. "Go clean every corner, then come back," the master said. The disciple obeyed, albeit confused. Upon entering his room, he noticed dust accumulating in the corners, papers were scattered, and his bed was unmade. He began to sweep, dust, and organize everything. With every stroke of the broom, he felt his mind clearing. When he returned to the master said, "Your mind is like that room. If you don't clean it, the dust accumulates and blocks your peace. But when you tidy your environment, you also organize your thoughts." From that day on, the disciple understood that keeping his space clean was an act of meditation in itself. In January, when starting the year, this teaching makes even more sense. The spaces where we live are extensions of our energy. A clean and organized home allows blessings to flow without obstacles. So what can you do? Take some time before the first week of January ends to do a deep cleaning in your house. Start with a small space, maybe a drawer, a closet, or even a forgotten corner behind a piece of furniture. Don't just move things around. Get rid of what you no longer need. As you clean, do it with intention. Visualize how you are not just freeing the physical space, but also releasing worries, fears, and negative energies that you don't want to carry with you for the rest of the year. Remember, cleaning is not just a household chore, it's a spiritual act. By freeing up clutter, you're sending a message to the universe. I am ready to receive the new, to welcome prosperity and abundance. So the next time you hold a broom, don't see it as a simple tool. Imagine you are holding a brush that paints a clean canvas for a year full of possibilities. Are you ready to start today? Your home, your mind, and your spirit will thank you. Avoid negative attitudes and complaints. Your words have immense power. They are like seeds you plant in the garden of your life. If those seeds are negative, they will grow into weeds that suffocate the flowers of prosperity and happiness. In Buddhism, there is an ancient teaching that says, "Words are arrows that never return." What you say not only affects those around you, but also shapes your internal and external reality. There's an old story about a disciple who had the habit of constantly complaining. He would lament about the weather, the food, his companions, and even his own life. One day, his master, tired of hearing him, handed him a bow and arrow and took him to the field. "Shoot this arrow in any direction you wish," the master told him. The disciple, puzzled, shot the arrow into the sky. "Now go and bring it back," the master ordered. The disciple was stunned. "That's impossible. Once the arrow is shot, I can't get it back." The master nodded and calmly replied, "That's how your words are. Every time you complain or speak negatively, you're shooting an arrow that you can't retrieve. That energy doesn't just affect others, it comes back to you, creating a cycle of unhappiness and driving away good luck from your life. The disciple understood the lesson, and from then on, began choosing his words wisely. In January, as we start a new cycle, it's crucial to plant positive words and thoughts of gratitude. Every complaint you make is like building an invisible wall that blocks opportunities, abundance, and good luck. But here's the wonderful part. Just as you can stop negative words, you can also use positive ones to transform your life. To break the habit of complaining, I invite you to start a gratitude journal. Dedicate a few minutes each day to writing down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand events. Simple details like the aroma of coffee in the morning, the smile of a loved one, or simply the fact that you're alive. This exercise has a profound impact. When you practice gratitude, your mind focuses on what you have rather than what you lack. This not only improves your mood, but also elevates your energetic vibration, attracting more good things into your life. Remember, every word you speak is like a brick with which you build your destiny. What kind of house do you want to build this year? One full of complaints and grey walls, or one illuminated with gratitude and opportunities? Choose your words carefully, because they are the force that shapes your path. And start today, not tomorrow. The universe is listening and ready to respond. Don't spend unconsciously. Money, like water, is energy in motion. It's a valuable resource that connects us to our needs and desires. But when we waste it unconsciously, we send a clear message to the universe. I don't value what I have. In January, after the holidays and year-end excesses, many people fall into the trap of continuing to spend more than they can, creating a cycle of stress and scarcity that follows them for months. In Buddhism, there is a beautiful teaching that compares money management to the flow of water. The master used to tell his disciples, if you try to hold water forcefully, it will slip through your fingers. But if you let it flow wisely, you will always find enough to quench your thirst. This means money must flow. We should use it to cover our needs and support our aspirations, but with care, so that we don't squander it on things that don't add real value to our lives. When we are conscious of how we use it, that energy returns to us in the form of abundance. There is a story of a king known for his generosity, who would distribute gold and riches to anyone who came to him. However, he did so without measuring the consequences, leaving his treasury empty for crucial moments. One day, a famine arrived, and the king had no resources to feed his people or protect his kingdom. An elderly monk visited the king and offered him advice. Generosity without wisdom is like a river that overflows. It benefits no one and causes more harm than good. Learn to balance giving and saving, and you will find true abundance. The king followed the advice, established a balance in his spending, and over time his kingdom prospered again. The first month of the year is the ideal time to rethink our relationship with money. If we spend uncontrollably, we not only affect our financial stability, but also our peace of mind. A lack of planning can become a source of distress and push away the energy of prosperity. To avoid this, I suggest a practical tip. Set a weekly budget. Define how much you can spend on essential items, how much you'll reserve for emergencies, and how much you'll set aside for a treat. By doing this, you will not only keep your finances in order, but also attract an energy of balance and control into your life. In addition to the budget, you can perform a simple Buddhist ritual to honor the money that comes into your hands. Every time you receive a payment or income, take a moment to thank for it and reflect on how this money can help you build a fuller and more meaningful life. This act of gratitude transforms money into a channel of positive energy, attracting more abundance toward you. Remember, money is neither good nor bad. It is neutral. Its value lies in how you use it. If you handle it with awareness, it can be a powerful tool for creating well-being in your life and in the lives of those around you. So, in this January, Commit to treating each coin as if it were a drop of water in an oasis. Manage your resources wisely, because that energy, just like flowing water, will always return to you. Don't waste food. Food is much more than physical sustenance. It is a gift from the universe, a daily reminder of the interconnection between us and everything around us. In Buddhism, it is taught that wasting food is not only a lack of gratitude, but an act that disrupts the balance with abundance. If we don't value what we have, how can we expect to receive more? There is a story about a young disciple who entered the monastery with great aspirations to attain enlightenment. However, he had a habit that concerned his master. He would leave leftovers on his plate or dismiss small portions of food, considering them insignificant. One day, the master asked him to gather all the crumbs he had left over the course of a week and place them in a container. At the end of the week, the master showed the disciple the container full of crumbs and said, "Each of these crumbs is the result of the effort of many hands. The one who sowed, the one who harvested, the one who cooked, disrespecting what life gives us." The disciple understood that even the smallest thing has value, and that true abundance begins with respect. When we waste food, we not only disrespect those who work to bring it to our table, but we also interrupt the flow of positive energy in our lives. Food represents the abundance we already possess, and the simple act of valuing it can open the doors to receiving more. To honor food and prevent waste, I suggest a practical action. Plan your weekly meals before you shop for food. Make a clear and adjusted list based on your needs. If you cook more than necessary, store the leftovers in small portions and label them for later use. This habit will not only help you save money, but also allow you to connect with an energy of gratitude and care. In many Buddhist traditions, before eating, they dedicate a moment to reflection and gratitude. You can incorporate this ritual into your daily routine. Before each meal, take a few seconds to thank for the effort that allowed that dish to reach your table. Visualize how that food nourishes both your body and your spirit, and commit to not wasting a single bite. This January, begin a new cycle with a conscious attitude toward food. Remember that every grain of rice, every piece of bread, and every vegetable has immense value. Respecting food not only honors life, but also cultivates in us a mindset of abundance. Think of the words of the Elder Master. Abundance is not measured by how much you have, but by how much you value what you already possess. Respect food, and you will see how prosperity in all its forms begins to bloom in your life. Avoid clutter and accumulation of useless objects. A home full of unnecessary things not only overwhelms the eyes, but also weighs on the spirit. According to Buddhist teachings, clutter is like an energetic spiderweb that traps your growth and blocks the entry of good fortune. When we accumulate without purpose, we hold on to stagnant energy that should be flowing to bring prosperity and clarity. Once a Buddhist master told his disciples a parable. There was a man who went to a wise man in search of wisdom and wealth. When he arrived, he carried with him a sack full of all kinds of things: coins, clothes, tools, and even food that was already spoiled. The wise man invited him to sit and offered him a cup of tea. However, the man wouldn't let go of his sack. The wise man began to pour tea into the visitor's cup, but didn't stop, and it began to overflow. "Why are you doing that?" the man asked, surprised. The wise man replied, "Just like this cup is full and cannot receive more tea, your life is full of unnecessary things. Until you empty your sack, you won't have space for anything new." The man understood that to receive what he sought, he first had to let go of what no longer served him. Every object you hold unnecessarily acts like an anchor, representing decisions you've postponed, unfinished projects, and opportunities you're not allowing to enter your life. A saturated space creates a saturated mind. Buddhism teaches us that external clarity reflects internal clarity. When you clear a physical space, you also free your mind and open the door to new possibilities. Before storing any object, ask yourself this simple question: do I really need this? If you don't use it, it doesn't bring you joy, or it has no clear purpose, it's time to let it go. Thank the time it's spent with you and allow it to follow its path. Donate in 3 categories: what you need, what you love, and what you can let go of. Focus on one space at a time and celebrate each step forward. Imagine how it feels to enter a room that is organized, where each object has its place and everything breathes harmony. That is the environment you should aim to create. A clean, uncluttered home is a place where energy flows freely, allowing prosperity and happiness to enter more easily. Clutter not only occupies physical space, but also emotional and spiritual space. By freeing your home of the unnecessary, you're freeing your life. As the Buddhist proverb says, a river can only flow when there are no stones blocking its path. Make this January a month to open space in your home and heart. Let energy flow and prepare to receive the best the year has to offer. Do not break promises. In Buddhism, promises are not just words thrown into the wind. They are commitments that unite our energy with that of others. Breaking a promise not only affects the person to whom we made it, but it also breaks something within ourselves. Karma, that universal law of cause and effect, teaches us that every action has a consequence, and failing to keep our word creates an imbalance that sooner or later returns to our lives. There is a story about a young disciple who promised his master to take care of a garden during his absence. The master, trusting him fully, left for a long retreat. However, the disciple, soon distracted by other tasks, abandoned the garden. When the master returned, he found the plants wilted and the soil dry. The disciple, ashamed, tried to justify his neglect, but the master said, "Promises are like seeds. When you fulfill them, they grow strong and blossom. But when you neglect them, not only do they die, but so does the trust that others place in you." From then on, the young man learned that keeping a promise was not just an act of respect toward others, but also a reflection of his own character and discipline. The Buddhist proverb, "He who breaks his word breaks his spirit," reminds us that our integrity is tied to our actions. Every time we break a promise, we create a crack in our energy and weaken our connection with the universe. Trust, both in ourselves and in our relationships, weakens with each broken promise. Keeping our word, even on small things, strengthens our positive karma and reinforces harmony in our lives. It's not necessary to make grand promises to prove our worth. It's better to be prudent with our words and ensure that we fulfill what we say. Here's a practical approach. Before promising something, ask yourself, can I really keep this promise? If you have doubts, it's better not to commit and explain your reasons. Initial honesty generates more respect than a broken promise. Make a conscious effort to prioritize the promises you've already made, even if they require personal sacrifice. If you feel you've broken promises in the past and wish to heal that karma, perform this simple ritual. Find a moment of peace and reflect on the promises you've broken. Write them down on a piece of paper along with a commitment to improve. Light a white candle as a symbol of renewal and commitment. And while you safely burn the paper, repeat, "Today, I release my past mistakes and commit to honoring my word in the future." The act of keeping promises, no matter how small, has a profound impact on our lives. It strengthens our self-esteem, improves our relationships, and aligns us with an energy of balance and respect. Remember, every promise kept is another brick in the construction of your path to prosperity and inner peace. This January, make your words a sacred treasure. Don't promise just to fulfill, promise to honor, and you'll see how good luck and harmony flow naturally toward you. Avoid cutting relationships or leaving unresolved matters. January is the month that marks a new beginning, a space to heal what is broken, clear what is stagnant, and make way for the new. But on the road to prosperity, there is something fundamental we cannot ignore: the relationships we leave behind, unresolved conflicts, and the emotional wounds we continue to carry. According to Buddhist teachings, everything we don't heal, everything we don't forgive, creates blockages that separate us from harmony and abundance. The energy of the new year doesn't flow freely if we carry these heavy burdens. There was a wise monk who lived for many years in an isolated monastery, dedicated to meditation and teaching. One day, a disciple approached him, concerned about a conflict he had not been able to resolve with his family. The monk, with the calm that characterized him, told him a story he would never forget. A man was walking through the forest when he encountered a large stone blocking his path. He decided to carry it for days because he thought that if he left it there, he would never be able to move forward. Over time, the weight of the stone exhausted him, and it became more of a burden than an obstacle. One day, on the verge of despair, he understood that the stone could only be removed when he chose to let it go. The monk looked at the disciple and said, "Broken relationships, conflicts, and old wounds are like that stone. As long as you carry them, they will stop you on your path. Forgiveness, my child, is not a gift to the other. It is a gift to yourself, to free your heart and move forward." Leaving conflicts or relationships unresolved creates what is called stagnant energy in Buddhism. It's as if our heart is trapped in a vicious circle of unexpressed emotions, unresolved resentments, and unspoken words. This not only affects our inner peace but can also block the arrival of new opportunities and blessings. If we don't close the cycles of the past, the energy of the present gets trapped, and good luck and prosperity cannot enter our lives. In Buddhism, forgiveness is seen as one of the most powerful forms of liberation. It's not necessary to wait for the other person to change or ask for forgiveness. Forgiveness is an internal act of healing that frees us from the emotional weight that drags us down. As an ancient Buddhist master said, forgiving is like washing clothes. While you keep wearing a dirty shirt, only you bear it. But when you wash it, you cleanse it so that it can be new again. Forgiveness cleanses your soul from the emotional dirt that prevents you from moving forward. This January, make forgiveness a priority, not just toward others, but also toward yourself. Healing old wounds is one of the most important steps toward a life full of prosperity and well-being. Stop carrying the conflicts of the past. Let them go and make space for the peace, harmony, and abundance that await you. The path to good luck and positive energy begins when we decide to close cycles. Close those chapters that no longer serve you and welcome a new beginning. By doing so, you will feel a bright light turning on in your life, and good fortune will flow toward you more strongly than ever. Now I will share a purification ritual to bring prosperity this January. First, ensure that your home is clean and organized. A clean environment is the foundation of a peaceful mind. When you clean your space, you're also releasing your energy, creating a path for abundance to enter without obstacles. Now I want to tell you a story that illustrates the importance of this ritual. In ancient times, in a small Buddhist monastery, there lived a monk named Tenzin. He was known for his wisdom and serenity. But one day, as the new year arrived, his mind was restless and he felt that the peace he once had faded. He decided to seek advice from his master. The master said to him, "Your mind is like a river. When it is clean and clear, abundance flows effortlessly. But if it is covered in mud, everything becomes stagnant. Go, clean your space and your heart, and you will see how the flow of life returns." Tenzin, following his master's advice, spent the whole morning cleaning his small room and the monastery. As he swept, he began to reflect on how, just like his room, his mind was also disordered. As he cleaned, he felt his mind becoming liberated from negative thoughts, and just as the dust was removed from the surfaces, his mind cleared. When he finished, he sat in front of a lit candle that he had placed on his altar and began to meditate. Suddenly he understood. Cleaning is not just about the physical, but about releasing energies that no longer serve us. That night, the monk Tenzin slept deeply, and at dawn he felt renewed calm and clarity. This ritual that Tenzin performed with such diligence teaches us the importance of creating space on all levels of our lives, both in our homes and in our inner being. Take a white candle, light it calmly, allowing its light to illuminate your surroundings. While you look at the flame, visualize its light dissolving any negative energy, bringing peace and prosperity into your life. Feel the light fill you with calm and open doors for new opportunities. Now place a bowl of salt near the candle. Salt is a symbol of purification. Imagine each grain of salt absorbing the negative energy in your home, leaving only the good. Take a moment to say a small prayer or affirmation. May all negativity dissolve, and may my home be filled with light and prosperity. Next, place a container of water. Water symbolizes flow and abundance. Feel the water flow, releasing what is stagnant and opening the way for the new. As you do this, think about everything you wish for this year, such as abundance, health, and prosperity. Whisper softly, "May the flow of abundance enter my life and fill me with well-being." Light an incense, preferably sandalwood or rose, to purify the environment even further. Let the smoke rise, carrying away any negative energy. Breathe deeply and feel the fresh air fill your being with balance and harmony. Finally, sit in front of the candle with the incense and the water. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, feeling your body fill with positive energy. Visualize a golden light surrounding you, filling you with health, prosperity, and well-being. Feel grateful for everything you have and everything that is yet to come. With this ritual, you will have created the space needed for prosperity and abundance to enter your life in this new year. As the monk Tenzin discovered, when we release the old, the new can fill our lives with blessings. These 7 things are not strict rules, but ancient teachings that have the power to transform your life when applied with faith and dedication. In Buddhism, everything is interconnected, and our daily actions, no matter how small, have a profound impact on our lives. January, being the first month of the year, is like a seed we plant for it to grow throughout the next 12 months. It is the perfect time to plant the right intentions, the right actions, and most importantly, the right vibrations. So which of these actions will you start applying today? Maybe it's time to begin with a deep cleaning of your home, or perhaps it's time to start being more grateful in your life. Maybe what you need is a small reminder that every time you keep something unnecessary, you're adding extra weight to your life. Or maybe it's time to commit to keeping your promises, both to others and to yourself. Thank you for joining me until the end. If this video helped you, don't forget to like it and share it with someone who needs to start the year with good luck. Until next time, dear friends.